Hi everyone, it's me once again, your brother, your friend. We're still on this fight, we're still on the struggle, we're still on the movement. It is we, not other person, do RORM Kasue, meaning United Refugees Right Movement Kasue. We self organized community of refugees and migrants who stood for a common basic human right that are deprived from refugees and migrants here in Germany and beyond. We stood up for our dignity, we stood up for our well being as human beings, who are refugees or migrants outside their country. We stood up that we are human, should be treated as human, not as an animal. So why I'm making this video today, I don't normally make videos, but I make video when there are important issues, when there are important information. So I think it is how time that we think about a realistic way, and this how time we just look into something to see what is really going on. So we have to think at times, we have to reason at times, we have to see what is really going on. But I think this time it is time for us to unite ourselves. I think it's time to call up for unity between the single mothers, between the family here in German. So why I'm asking this is that we should understand that not that your kids are grown up to a age of 18 or 17, 16, doesn't need assistance. You have to know that all our kids need assistance. From a baby to 18 years, they all need assistance. So the assistance they need is from the father or the mother. The kids cannot assist or help themselves if the father and the mother are not giving them the assistance. So the kids cannot get to their dream if we feel reluctant that the kids are growing up, they know what to do, they can do everything, they cannot get this assistance. That means that all our kids here, all our African kids here are going to be making us be done as a supermarket attendants, making us be done as auxiliary nurse, making us be done as one or two things that which are not their dreams. So the question here, I think it is time to call up for unity, to call out for a fight of unity so that we can be able to create awareness and let people know what is going on with the black African kids, and let people know how the game has been played. Because the question here is that we really have to understand that the whole issue is starting from the kindergarten. It's starting from the kindergarten to the kindergarten to the normal school. So the question here is that there are all problems that should be solved. There are problems that need an urgent approach. What are the problems right now? Now, we as an African grew up in Africa. We know how we were trained. Many of us did not even attend. Some of us did not even attend the school to a high standard school. Some of us even attend ordinary primary school. But today we can be able to behave, and we knew what we're doing. We understand things, and we can speak even their language. We can do a lot harder to our own. So nobody is seeing any problem in us because we are big enough to take care of our problem. But right now, all our kids, we're having many problems with our kids. One is that all the black African kids are having problems in kindergarten, from kindergarten to kindergarten. So the problem from kindergarten to the normal school, they all have problem. Why is this problem? When we have many white children, that the problem is physical, that yes, this is a physical problem. We know they have problem, but the other people are not, we don't see the problem in them. But all these African kids, they do not have this problem, which they are classifying them off. So they do not have this problem. For example, kids in Africa are kept in pre-KG. In this pre-KG, he learns everything. The teacher teach him how to behave, how to speak, how to talk, how to ride, how to play, how to communicate. The teacher teach him before this kid will get to KG school. So it is the job of the teacher to teach the kids. But here in German, I have met a lady and a man who is working in kindergarten. After a lot of research, they told us this is a secret and you should not prove it out. This is a secret. We are just telling you, but our identity should not be shown. The question here is that I want to help the kids. I really wanted to help the kids, but in kindergarten there's the rules that I will not go above. I will not go above this rule because this rule is already there. I came to kindergarten to teach the kids, but I have to follow the whole rules. You see, I really want to help these kids, but I cannot help them because my own assistant, the way I wanted to help these kids, are not approved in the kindergarten. I said, why? He said, come, look, let me tell you something. For example, if kids are in kindergarten, you want to teach them how to do something. It is not, when it comes to the African kids, it is not so. What happened is that don't teach the kids, leave the kids. Let's see what is wrong with these kids. They have to write everything. You allow a kid to play by him or herself in the kindergarten, in the school, in the kindergarten, and they began to write what is going on. These kids plays a lot. These kids don't play with children, with other kids. These kids don't talk. These kids don't seem, it's not feeling, they don't think it's okay. It's medical challenge. These kids cannot put on a shirt, cannot put on his shoes, he cannot do anything, he cannot eat, he sleep, he talk too much, he do this. They have to write everything down and send it to the land dresser. So the question here is that there is where a helper is coming from, because they want to get into your family, and all this they are writing is going to affect the kids in future. All this they are writing is going to affect the kids in future. As it started affecting the kid from pre-KG, we affect the kid from primary school, from kindergarten, and it's going to attend this kid for normal school. From class 1, it's going to affect the kids. That is why those kids are not getting the best education. That is why those kids are not getting to the position they want to be. That is why those kids are very restricted in every angle, not to work, not to study a better study that will better them in future. He says you can see out of 10, out of 100, one can make it. It's not that one will make it, one of the kids can make it. But when those kids were in Africa, even their mother, their father was not like this. But yeah, they are all like this, trying to tell us that our mentality in Africa is a stupid mentality. So this is very stupid, and this we should look up to. So the question here is that there are big problems right now that need an urgent approach. What are the problems right now? What are the big problems right now that need an urgent approach? Is one, they have strategized a lot of let me just make it like this. They have prepared a lot of things that is going to happen in this 2022. What are that? They are going to take more children. What are that? They are going to take more children, because before, normally they say you don't beat your kids in Europe, but now the question is not about you don't beat your kids in Europe. The question is about you don't train your kids in Europe. You don't train your kids in Europe. This is not about beating. I told you don't beat your kids. When your kids are doing things that are not okay, don't beat him, advise him, talk to him. But now they are going to tell you don't train your kids. You don't know how to train your kids. Your kids are not safe in your hand because the government are supporting you or helping you. The government have right to take these kids and treat these kids for you as a mother who deliver these kids, who carried these kids for her womb for 9 months. So this is very obviously, and many of them are thinking in the negative talk that the African women are having baby because of a benefit they are getting from the government. Having a baby because of the benefit they are getting from government. In Africa, a woman have 10, 12, 11 kids. And in Africa, women have 10, 12, 11 kids. And when she's having this 10 or 12 or 11 kids, she can be able to cater for these kids. And she's not having these kids because of money. She's having these kids because she loves kids. In Africa, we love children. We love kids. This is what people don't understand. We love children. We love kids. Why do we love kids? Why do we love children? Because we know in future, in tomorrow, these kids are the one that is going to take care of us if we could not be able to take care of ourselves anymore. Because when the kids could not be able to take care of themselves when there was a baby. We were there for them. And the kids will not have the love for the father or the mother when he's old, that it is my responsibility to take care of my parents. But here in Europe, their mentality is different. Once the father or the mother is old, they will take them to old people home to take care of them, not for their kids to take care of their parents. In Africa, our kids will take care of their parents by themselves, because they said there is nothing like father or there is nothing like mother. As father and mother always said, there's nothing like son, there's nothing like doctor to me. So there's nobody that can take care of my son or my doctor more than me, and there's nobody that can take care of father or mother more than their sons and doctors. So this mentality should not be confused in this aspect. So that why they are having kids is because of they don't have kids because of the benefit. In Africa, women are giving the lowest bed women can give in Africa is 5 or 6. The lowest bed women can give is 5 or 6. You don't try it here. When you try it here, you don't try it here. When you try it, even offices will be insulting you. You don't try it here in German. So the question is that I want that mentality to fall off right now, that the people are not having kids because of the benefit. They are having kids because they know in future one of the kids are going to support or help them when they are old. So that is what the Europe did not have in their own thinking. So they think that when you are old, so you go to the homeless, the old people's home. So this is where they're going to take care of you. But in Africa, it's not like that. So you people should get that, and just people should understand that. That is for that. And the main issue here is that it is time for us for the Africans to unite, mainly the single mothers. So I don't really want to go deeper to the issue, but the issue right now is that there are many arrangements to take kids from their mother, from their father. It's not about you beat your son or your daughter, you mistreat your son and your daughter. It's about through your familiar helper, the plant familiar helper to your life, from the kinder creeper to the kindergarten, who began to make complaint about your kids, and they don't teach your kids anything in the kindergarten. They only want to write out all problem of the kids. What is the reason of these kids going to kindergarten? I thought, and I was thinking that the reason of these kids going to kindergarten is for them to be is for them to learn something. The kindergarten cannot teach these kids how to play with other kids. The kindergarten cannot teach these kids how to put on a shoe or a jacket. If these kids, I'm only saying if these kids cannot do this, but I know they can do it. The kindergarten cannot teach these kids how to eat. The kindergarten cannot teach these kids how to talk. The kindergarten cannot teach these kids how to do anything. They will lie everything on the medication, because when they began to lie on this thing, go to therapy, go to SPZ, go to this, go to this, go to this, go to this, because they want this problem. This in future, this is going to be a big problem for those kids in future when other kids are not like that. So, many of our black kids, I want to tell you something. Many of our black kids are taking drugs here in Europe. Many of our black kids are taking drugs here in Europe to concentrate on what they are doing. But none of us, we don't even know the drugs. None of us who took this drug when we were in Africa to go to school or to learn. They have a lot of best doctor in America, but many of them are from Africa. Many of them from Africa. They started the study from Africa, but at the time they were going to this school, none of them were given drugs to concentrate on what they are learning. They all concentrate naturally. But why is that here? Every one of our kids are not concentrating, one problem to another, one thing to another. Even kids that are excellent they are saying one or two things to make sure that these kids did not get to his dream. To make sure that these kids end up doing ordinary hospital. They make sure that these kids did not get the best education which he or she wants to get in our life. So the question here is that we really have to look at this whole thing. What we need is that nobody on this head that is going to fight this fight for us. As an Africa here in German, This whole system, nobody's going to fight it for us. We are the only one to create this awareness. Not every German who knew what we as Black Africa and as our children, what they are passing through here in German. Not every German who knew. When I began to tell a lady about some situation, she said, no, this is not existing. I just told him this is what people are passing through every day. Say, no, not in German. So it's not every German who know that this thing exists. So the question here is that we need to create this awareness. We need to come up in unity to expose the familiar helper, to expose the youngest Sam, to expose the kindergarten, the school, to expose the kindergarten to school, and many doctors which they are working together who could tell you that this kid is okay, is normal, and he could not write anything. It could not write anything for you to support it. It can only tell you verbally, yeah, when it tells the kids are okay, good, and you tell them, but the kindergarten are telling me that it's not okay, say it's good. Okay, can you write something for me? We said no, without proof. So questioning, this is clear, this began clear, that they are all, the doctor are afraid to write something because he knew that he knew that something is wrong somewhere. So that is why he do not want to give you any proof that confirm that this case is okay. So the other question here is that we really have to work this, because many kids are about to get problem, and mother should not think about themselves, father should not think about themselves. They should right now think about their kids. What we should do for their kids. How can our kids get to their destination? How can our kids have the best education, and what can we do to make sure that all this problem, that all these kids are going through is over? So for us, we have grown to a stage that we knew what is the best for us, but our kids do not know what is the best for them. We have to decide. So the question here is that once you have a familiar helper, you as a woman do not have a right, you do not have a respect, you did not have a dignity, you did not have a privacy, you did not have anything. The family helper can bash you whenever she or he wants. The family helper can ask you any question whenever he or she wants. The family helper can make any appointment whenever he or she want, because it become your home betrayal. It become your home betrayer. It become your home betrayer to make every decision for you, to do everything for you. This is where you began to sink in their system. So first of all, I'm telling everyone, we have to unite to fight this issue. Without that, many people are going to cry that. Even the grown-up one, many of them are going to cry out. Look at our kids. This is what people does not think. Look at our kids. How many of them are working in the offices? Now, I know none of them are even in the parliament. None of them are even in the parliament, or none of them are even in any good office. But the question here is that, are they not? Many of them were born here in German. Black kids, many of them were born here in German, and many of them were born here in German, and many of them go to the same school, which all those people that are in parliament in everywhere go to. But when it gets to some stage, they all stop them and tell them to do Osbidon and bring them down, that they are not brilliant enough, that they cannot go to social school. This is the only school they can go for them to make Osbidon, to be a supermarket attendant, to be auxiliary nurse, to be this and that, to be a laborer. So the question here is that if we need the best for our kids, we need to fight and stand for them. That is for that. So, and this is why I'm just wanting to make every one of us to understand, to know that I'm telling every woman there, if you have a familiar helper, please find a way to stop him or her, because he's supposed to be a familiar helper. A familiar helper is supposed to help you, assist you. He's a familiar helper. He's supposed to be part of your family, to keep a secret for you, to help you, to assist you, to make sure that you are okay. He's part of the family. But yeah, they are there to get out all information. They are there to sell you up. They are there to take your keys. They are there to say all nonsense against you, to make sure that even you as a mother go to therapy. Even you as a mother, really, even you as a mother go to therapy. Even you as the mother of the kids are admitted in the hospital because they are going to frustrate you. They are going to frustrate you, make your life miserable. So for this, I am telling you, many of them come like, I want to help you. I want to do this for you. Let me be fetching water. I will be helping you to buying water. I will be carrying you to this place. I will be doing this thing for you. You will be happy. This, I have a woman, I have a man who helped me to do this, who helped me to do that, not knowing that he's coming for a reason that is very important to them. So the question here is that I am still talking. My aim is that it is time for us, for the women to come together, for the family to come together to make sure that this problem is not affecting our kids. This problem is not affecting any of our kids. We should not say that is affecting Mrs. A. That is not the business of Mrs. B. It's affecting Mr. A. That is not the business of Mr. B. The question here is that at the time he finished with Mrs. A, it will come to Mrs. B. At the time he finished with Mr. A, it will come to Mr. B. And at the time he finished with Mr. B and it come to Mr. A, as the time he finished with Mr. A, come to Mr. B, Mr. B could not be able to do anything. Because I wish at the time he started with Mr. A and Mr. B could assist Mr. A or stand with Mr. A, this thing will not go further. So I think it is our time to stop it now before he began to spread like this coronavirus, spread like this Omicron, like this coronavirus who spread every angle. But it is already spreading everywhere. Every case, just tell me a woman with 2 or 3 kids, a woman with 2 or 3 kids who do not have a familiar helper. Just tell me a woman with 2 or 3 kids who do not have this problem. Which I'm just saying now, all of them have it. The kids have problem when they're in kindergarten. The kids have problem when they are in normal school. When they are in class 1, class 2, class 3, class 4, class 5. The kids have problem even in class 8, in class 9. The kids have problem not to study what they want to study. The kids have problem not to be in an office where they want to be. So the kids have problem. All our kids have problem. And the one that is coming is still going to have the same problem. And I think it is time for us to do that because they cannot do that by themselves. So this is just what I want to say to every mothers and fathers there. There's no time to be playing. Let's call a spade a spade. Let's face our reality. Let's face the reality. Let's do something very important for our kids. Let us let our kids know that we cares for them. We do not only care for ourselves, we cares for our kids. Fighting for the future of our kids means that we cares for our kids. Let's fight for our kids. Don't let us be selfish for ourselves. Our kids is the most important reasons why we are living. Because we have our kids because we love them. We want to have our kids. We want to play with our kids. We want to be with our kids. We want to cherish the same love with our kids. We want to do everything with our kids. We need a kid of our own. We need a child of our own. We need a doctor, a son of our own. A kid that look like us. A doctor, a son that look like us. That will be like us. That will play with us. That will talk with us. That will go outside with us. That we can see and be smiling. This is why we need them. We do not need them. Kids that we will see when they become somebody and something in the future will be happy and be proud by saying, this is my kid, this is my son, this is my daughter. We do not have a kid because we want to have it. We have it because we know the importance of our kids, of our children, of our son, of our daughter. So that is why we have to fight for this importance, for this reason, we have them to fight for their bright future. So this is what I want to say. I'm telling you, every mother and father comes out. Let us unite. African mothers and father here in German. It doesn't really matter the country you are from. Let us come together. Let us unite to make sure that our kids have the best in future. To make sure that our kids are schooling like other kids. To make sure that our kids are educated like others kids, to make sure that our kids are not dropped back in education, to make sure that our kids are not discriminated, our kids are not resisted, our kids are not deprived of their right, including us are not deprived of our right and our privilege because they are from Africa. That is what I want to say. Thank you, everyone. Please, I want you all to try to share this video to us many women and family that we all have to come together